Hey guys, so for whatever reason, my audio is pretty glitchy throughout this. I managed to go in and refilm a lot of the parts and I tried to do some other stuff to fix it. But yeah, I figured I'd just refilm this intro and give you guys a little bit of a heads up that it is a little rough. And also, the podcast that we're watching has audio issues. It gets super out of sync towards the end. So, yeah. It really doesn't start to get bad until the podcast playback starts, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Okay? Enjoy nonetheless, hopefully. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I hope you are doing fantastic today. Thank you for joining me for this discussion. Today, as you will have seen, we are going to be talking about Kay and Tay again because recently, well, it's kind of multifaceted. So first off, they decided to make their young daughter her own Instagram account. So that's great. And second of all, Kay has been really grifting on her lupus diagnosis, alleged diagnosis, and going on various podcasts and doing interviews about how she wants to be a better mother. So I figured we would take a look at her most recent interview with Taylor Lautner and his wife, whose name is also Taylor, I believe, and see what she has to say, because we all know that she's not a present mom. It's physically impossible, and we have proof from her first daughter. So we're going to discuss all of this. We got a lot to cover. Let's go, guys. Quickly, before we get started, I do want to say thank you to those who tune in every week to the videos or every video, because I'm kind of all over the place with upload schedules. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you guys, your support, and it allows me to keep doing this. And to those who are new here, I'm Sasha, and this over here is Mickey's booty, and he's coiled up in a cute little ball right now, but kind of off. I wonder if I could pull him. Do you think I could pull him without disturbing him? Yeah, I can. There you go. Oh, you're so good boy. And on this channel, we call out influencers for their terrible, crappy, awful behaviors to try and bring some form of transparency back to social media, accountability, the whole nine yards, you know, the stuff that's severely lacking on social media nowadays. So if that sounds interesting or valuable to you or anything of the sorts, I would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future upload and join the discussion and further strengthen it with us. Thank you so much, and let's talk Kay and Tay. So like I said, we're going to be watching the podcast episode that Kay recently did. And from my understanding, she talks about her diagnosis and she talks about how she wants to be a better mother. Now, we'll get into that when we watch the episode. First, I do want to highlight the fact that they made Ellie, their middle child, oldest child together, middle child, whatever you want to label her, her own Instagram account for pictures from her camera, apparently, because a toddler definitely would have taken, you know, this picture. Hands down, she took that picture all by herself, set up the camera, you know, pushed the little clickety click. Makes sense. This is disgusting behavior. And for Tay to go ahead and say, no need to follow it or anything. If I post pictures there, I'll just share them here. So not only did they set her up her own Instagram account, which of course is mommy and daddy run, right? So that's how we get around all these rules. But now they get to overshare on two different platforms, two different accounts, and monetize this child on two different accounts. Kay and Tay have over 10 million followers cross-platform, and a lot of predators follow them, not just for their fetish content that they do, but for their children. So now they're plastering their child and giving these predators everything they could possibly want and desire in one spot, easy access, no problem. And the fact that these two are independently wealthy and are only doing it to be greedy a-holes blows my mind. This is not what good, responsible parents do. You can't tell me that they don't have things in their DMs that are alarming. We've seen the comments in their comment section alone, commenting on the babies, commenting on the girls. Their obsession with Kay's eldest daughter, wanting to see her, fiending to see her, and then when they show a small glimpse of her, everybody loses their crap. That's not normal behavior. People shouldn't be like having this visceral craving reaction to see other people's children. When that was sent to me, my jaw hit the floor. And on top of that, she's the one who gets left behind, right? They posted a few months ago that she doesn't travel with them anymore because she's on such a good routine. So basically all this kid is used for is a prop to make her parents social media money while they are off gallivanting to the CMAs and to the interviews and to this and that and this and that, leaving her at home with the nanny. Which hopefully at least her nanny loves her dearly and treats her kindly and gives her the attention and support that she needs. But wild behavior. And with all of the new bills and laws being passed, not only in the States, but around the world, it is astonishing to me that they chose now to start promoting this account for Ellie. And it is so sad that these parents simply don't care to protect their children. I just wanted to share that with you guys quickly because I saw that and I was disgusted with that behavior. But now we are going to go ahead and watch what Kay has to say in this interview. It's crazy to me because she doesn't even look like the same person that when I started covering this. Like all of the work she's had done on her face, all the plastic surgery, and she's a naturally beautiful woman. We can all be there. Her insides aren't the most beautiful, so it really spills over to the outside persona. I know that the vibes, the aura, that's all off. Yes, I can be there with that. But she didn't need to destroy her face with plastic surgery, is what I'm trying to say. It's weird to see someone like, and the progression of all this plastic surgery and it all being documented online. Just weird. It's weird, right? But Kay Dudley, the reality of motherhood. It's so crazy to me because these people don't know what the actual reality of motherhood is. They have one, maybe even two nannies on staff 24/7 to help them with their kids while they're off traveling and gallivanting around the world. That's not being a real mother, the reality of motherhood. That's not realistic for 97% of mothers on this planet. And I really wish that their fans would start waking up to this, that it's all fake and that it's all just like saying what people want to hear, essentially, because she doesn't know anything about motherhood. She hasn't been present in her kids' lives at all. And even her eldest daughter, right? And she tries to like say, oh, I know what motherhood is because of this, because of that. She was not present. She abandoned her eldest daughter when she was like 2 years old and went off gallivanting around, being a base bunny. On top of all of that, not being at all present in her youngest daughter's life, which is really also something really interesting that people come and they're like, oh, she's such a good mom. Like she loves her oldest daughter. How do you know that? Like, no, she doesn't. It's on record that she wasn't present. We're not just pulling this out of our butts. But on top of all of this, she refuses to pay more than $150 in child support monthly, despite them being multi-millionaires. And I know that her daughter is well supported with her father. It's not even about the money. It's the principle of the matter. The fact that they hide all of their money and income behind Tay's name so she doesn't have to pay child support to support her child that she abandoned is unhinged to me. Jeez, sorry, buddy. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I scared the cat.
It took me 6 years to get diagnosed. I did all of the...
Shh. Okay, shh. This is a disaster. Oh my gosh. Scaring the cat. There's videos playing.
It took me 6 years to get diagnosed. I did all of the initial labs. Every single one of them came back fine. So I was able to get diagnosed, which was incredible. And I was so thankful. Like, I remember crying because I was happy that I got diagnosed because I knew, like, I didn't want to be diagnosed, but I wanted validation. You can have one really good breastfeeding journey and then you can have not a good breastfeeding journey. And you just have to do what is mentally best for you.
So I'm going to turn on my headset so it's just better sound.
That is a hill I will die on, by the way. I've made the decision to breastfeed, but that's my decision. That doesn't mean that any other mom that's going to do it a different way is wrong. A fed baby is best, in my opinion. A mentally sane mom is so much better than a mom who is just mentally like struggling every single day. I struggled with school. I didn't graduate. I've never really talked about that. I had a doctor I'll never forget. He called me and he was like, I don't think this is going to come as a surprise to you, but it's very obvious you have ADHD. I feel like my childhood was robbed in a way. Tay and I had like a controversy a few years ago. And I think in that moment, I felt like that was it. And like, it would never get better. I told myself I wasn't going to cry.
Oh my gosh, we got canceled a couple years ago and I thought my life was over because I couldn't make $1 million exploiting my children on the internet. And I thought my life was over. That's literally what she just said. Jeez. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Buckle up, grab a coffee, grab a snack, get comfy. Yo, were you Team Edward or Team Jacob? I didn't even watch the Twilight movies until I was older. Like, it was my teenagehood era that it came out, and I was like, nope. But my brain decides that we're going to reject really popular stuff until one day it accepts it. But yeah, Team Jacob or Team Edward. See, I don't even know their names.
Hello, Lemon Drops. Welcome back to another episode of The Squeeze. I am so happy that you are here with us today. And I'm so excited about today's episode because I'm sitting down with Kay Dudley. If you don't know who she is the other half behind the viral couple of Kay and Tay. There's a lot of Tays in this episode, just warning you. But Kay and her husband have a massively popular lifestyle and family account with millions of followers across TikTok and Instagram. She's known for their relatable humor, heartfelt content, and Kay has built a strong connection with her audience by sharing the realities of marriage and motherhood, from pregnancy journeys to raising their daughters and navigating life as a growing family. More recently, she's been opening up about this new chapter of life she's in, including welcoming their newest baby and adjusting to life with 2 under 2. Today, we dive into things all mom, postpartum, and Kay actually recently has been dealing with some health issues that led to a hospitalization. Everything is fine, but we dive into that and what it's like to have to advocate for yourself when you know something is wrong with your body, but doctors just aren't listening to you. We cover so many topics. Kay is so darling, and I feel like I learned so much about her.
Kaylee is so darling. It's all fake. I don't understand how no one can see through this. It's so fake. They are not like this in real life.
And just the strength that she exudes is truly unmatched. And I can't wait for you guys to hear. Fun, Kay. Welcome to The Squeeze.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
This is really fun because I'm about to ask you so many mom questions. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, why did I sign up for this?
No, I love it. I love to give my mom knowledge to everyone that wants it.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. All my mom knowledge. She's acting like she's been a mom for 14 years and she hasn't. She's been a mom for 2 years and a part-time parent for a couple years. Unhinged, acting like she's an expert in motherhood. None of us are experts in motherhood. None of us know what the hell we are doing.
So good. Okay, so we start each episode off with this jar. It's a little game called Citrus Hot Reel. If you want to pull a little piece of paper out of there and read it to our Lemon Drops. Those are our listeners.
Okay. It says, what's a hill you will absolutely die on?
Ooh.
Goodness.
Oh, I know mine.
All the things. I'm thinking of all the things. You might have to give me a minute. A hill that I will absolutely die on.
I'll tell you mine and then.
Yeah, you tell me yours. Maybe I'll jog.
Yeah, maybe I'll get the thoughts flowing. Pineapple on pizza.
Oh, that's a good one. No, I'll die on that hill too.
Oh my gosh. Hard same. That is such a great way to open this. I absolutely love pineapple on pizza. I'm not a huge pineapple fan, to be very honest, and I just recently started getting into fresh pineapple and stuff, but like, you know, pineapples in a fruit tray, like the melon fruit trays, it just all ends up tasting like pineapple. It is gross. I don't like it. It's so overbearing and powerful, but pineapple on pizza, like I don't even like ham. I am such a freaking weirdo. I'm a weirdo. I don't like ham. I don't like pineapple, but like Hawaiian pizza, the best pizza around. And that's a hill I will also die on, for sure. But what do you think? Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no? Very controversial opening topic right here.
Yeah.
100%. I don't know why people don't like that. It's not like sweet and salty.
Yeah.
It just goes together.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
I would say
I can't believe I agree with Kay Dudley on something. I mean, like, technically it was Taylor's idea. Her name is Taylor, right? Otherwise, we're just going to be calling her Taylor the whole time. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it is. But I genuinely cannot believe that Kay Dudley and I are on the same page about something. Maybe pigs are flying outside. We should probably go check, because what?
every day. Like, I mean, obviously I did my makeup today, but so that's not a good example. But SPF, like, it's the one thing I would take with me on a stranded island.
Yeah.
So important.
No, that's, I think one size, I think I just got it in PR. One size just came out with like a setting spray that has SPF in it.
Oh, Oh, I need that.
Yeah.
I really need that.
I know, because that's something I struggle with because my mom's an esthetician and she's
Oh.
always like, you need
Yeah.
sunscreen.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you like want to do your makeup and then sometimes I'll put it on underneath and then it just like my makeup will feel weird or I just feel like my skin, like my pores get clogged when I do that.
Yeah. I do
So-
my makeup like very seldomly. And most of the time it's like SPF and like my moisturizer and that's it. And
What? There's no way that Kay seldomly does her makeup. They film all day, every single day. We see pictures of her every day, and she always has makeup on. Geez, starting early with all the lies, apparently. Let's do it. Let's count the lies. That was one. I'm not going to remember to put in a counter post, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Editing Sasha, the ding, one. The heck? What a silly thing to lie about. Don't do your makeup every day. Okay.
I feel like my skin's never been better since I started doing that. So
Yeah. I was gonna say your skin like literally looks so smooth. I'm like staring
yours
at
is glowing as well, by the way.
Oh,
it's so good.
that's nice. That's nice.
No, it is. And this is going to be like the time where you're glowing. So
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of waiting for that to happen, honestly, because I'm still just breaking out.
I don't
so
see it.
much. Okay,
No,
well
it does not look bad.
Thanks to the makeup. But no, my first trimester, I was like breaking out face in my scalp, like even like on my chest and on my back, which I never normally break out like ever.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely an adjustment for me.
She's going to have a girl. Guarantee it. I guarantee she's going to have a girl. Have they announced it yet? Did they announce it yet on social media? I'm going to Google it. Okay, March 2026. So, wait. Did they have... Oh, no. Announced it March 2026. This does not tell me anything. Taylor and Soph. No. What? We're talking about Taylor and Soph. Get out of here, influencers. Okay. They haven't announced it yet. But, guarantee it's a girl. I'm clocking it right now. What do I win if I'm right?
It humbles you.
Yeah.
That was me with my last pregnancy. Well, not like my last, but my last. With Ellie, I had never had cystic acne in my life.
Yeah.
And I started breaking out so bad. Like, I mean, and it hurts your confidence. Like you're already going through all these changes, but then like to be on camera every day too, I was like, I don't want to show my face to anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
That's so true. I've actually been thinking about this. What similar or differences did you have in your 2 pregnancies?
That's a good question. So with, well, I've had 3 pregnancies total.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm glad she corrected her. Like, gosh. But she always says that. Like, oh, my pregnancy as a teenager was so much different than my pregnancy as an adult. And it's like, yeah, you definitely don't bounce back as easily as you age. That's for darn sure.
First, it was like nothing. Like I was 19. So in a lot of ways, this, like my second pregnancy was new again. It was so different than the first. It was 12 years difference. But with my first, I had like no nausea, no acne, nothing. Like if you told me I was like, you wouldn't be able to tell I was pregnant other than my bump. Like I had no symptoms. And everyone was like, that's the exception. Like that's not really how it is for most people.
Yeah.
So I just knew going into my next ones, it was going to be like a piece of cake. And that was the furthest thing from the truth.
I don't know. Also, I'm sorry to those who genuinely get triggered from me pausing so much. Tough, I guess. But I don't know what kind of work she's had done, but her head looks entirely too small for her body right now. It looks like she had her jawline done or something, because now her head in comparison to her neck and her shoulders and everything looks so disproportionate. It looks ridiculously disproportionate. I don't know what it is. And I'm not trying to be snarky here or like comment on looks or whatever or take digs, mainly because this didn't need to happen. It's not like it's something that she can't change. It is stuff that she actively worked to try and change. And I don't know. Like I said in the beginning, she looks like an entirely different person now. But yeah, I don't know. Her head looks too small for her body, in my opinion. I feel like not watching them also gives me a bit of a different perspective. I really just watch them when I cover them. And even last time I covered them, I don't even think she was really on camera, maybe for like a quick snippet for like the stalker story. But like I haven't seen her just like sit down and talk on a podcast in a while. So that also could be like the stark difference that I'm noticing. And I think that it gives me a more in tune idea of like what could have happened, or like to see the differences versus someone who watches them every single day. But yeah, I don't know. Something's off. Something's off.
Second pregnancy humbled me. I had the acne. I had horrible nausea. And I don't know why they call it morning sickness because I was sick like all day.
Yeah.
And then with my last pregnancy, it was a little better than with Ellie. The acne was better, but I did start using my Glow Serum, which is something, it has like, it's oxygen infused, has vitamin C and AHA blend. So it helps a lot and it's pregnancy safe.
Yeah.
So I was using that.
What does oxygen infused mean? Also, I thought she was going to plug this like 10 minutes ago when Taylor was like, oh, your skin's glowing. And they did the whole like, you're glowing stuff. But yeah, what is oxygen infused? Can you even infuse oxygen into Glow Serum? What?
But I would say that's the only real difference, other than it was a different pregnancy. And I really didn't have any nausea either with that pregnancy. So every pregnancy is so different. And even if it's the same person, the same dad, it doesn't even matter gender because I had all girls and like they were all so different.
Yeah.
So you really can't be sure from one to the next if it's going to be the same or not.
Yeah. No, I've been thinking about it a lot because I mean, my pregnancy has been fine. My first trimester obviously was not fun, but now being in the second, I'm like able to be alive and functioning to some degree. But yesterday I was like just having a meltdown and I was like, I don't think I like being pregnant, which like, you know, sounds horrible to say, but like I'm not really enjoying all of the things that come along with it.
I feel like
honestly, same. I really didn't like being pregnant. Like I hated being pregnant. And I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. Obviously not, because like there's other people who are also stating the same thing. And I know that there's some people who love being pregnant. They love the feeling of it. They feel better while they're pregnancy. I don't know, maybe the hormones like balance out during pregnancy versus not pregnant. But yeah, I was sore, I was uncomfortable, I was nauseous, I just like didn't feel like myself and everything. And you know, there's always this narrative surrounding pregnancy. And it's glamorized a lot, I find, but no, not for me. I tried 3 times and I didn't really enjoy. Okay, maybe like 2.5 times because of my preemie baby, but I really just didn't enjoy being pregnant at all.
Such a valid like feeling. So many people feel that way and they don't want to express that because, you know, people struggle to get pregnant. You have people that can never get pregnant and you don't want to offend those people by saying like, you're not happy and you're happy, but you're miserable. But that's something like you're entitled to feel that, you know, it sucks the life out of you. It's hard. It's very hard to be pregnant. And, you know, that's like, this is not to like scare you, but this is just the beginning. Like you're pregnant, but then you have postpartum. And I mean, you have like the version of you before a baby and then you have the version after. And for me, that happened at 19 and I never really got to enjoy my 20s where like I didn't have stretch marks or, you know, just a lot of things that none of my friends had to deal with yet. And I mean, that was my fault and, you know, I'm not blaming anybody, but it's just something that as I've gotten older, I've gotten more appreciative of my body changes, but it is hard to kind of wrap your mind around that.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to feel that. And it doesn't mean that you're not happy to be pregnant. You're not happy and excited.
For sure.
But you don't have to like it. You know?
Oh my gosh. It's not even like I didn't get to enjoy my 20s because I had a child to take care of. No. I didn't get to enjoy my 20s because I had stretch marks. Oh, right. That's right. Because you didn't have a child to take care of because you were off gallivanting, enjoying your 20s. But, oh man, ruined by those darn stretch marks. Everything this woman says is just ridiculous.
And I think I've dealt with, I've never really struggled with comparison, but I've definitely found myself comparing like my pregnant body to other pregnant women, especially like the women that are like weeks away from giving birth and are still like all
active,
skinny and fit. And I'm like in my husband's jeans right now. And it's like, I'm like, just not having a grand old, it's the first time I've really like had that struggle before, which I think might also be a thing, but I think I'm already like not feeling great about myself. And then the comparison aspect of it is,
and social media is like that. Like with my first pregnancy, I didn't have that. And I often like wondered, like, why did I feel like I didn't feel mentally like afterwards was when I did because of the stretch marks. They came literally in the last 4 weeks. So that was unfortunate. I almost made it. Yeah. But I didn't have anything to compare it to. Like nobody was showing their belly like exposed back then. It wasn't very normal to like wear like belly shirts and your belly hanging out, which I mean, I'm all about embracing it. Like, I mean, I even did with my last 2 pregnancies a little bit more than I did with my first, but you know, I didn't have anything to compare it to. So I was like, this is normal. But then you start seeing these like fitness gurus that are like, you know, doing squats and these, like, they're just like doing all the things and they have like the tiniest frame and their belly's just a little bitty, tiny, cute bump. And I'm massive when I'm pregnant. I'm very like small framed already. I'm short. And so my torso is not very big.
Yeah, there's nowhere. I was literally just having this conversation with my girlfriend yesterday. We were like, there's nowhere for any of the baby, the body fat, anything to go.
It goes out. Yes. And so you typically will feel a lot larger. And that's like something just being on social media. I had to start like blocking out those comments because people would be like, are you sure she's only 12 weeks? She looks a lot more like 25 weeks or, you know, just comments like that. And it starts to get to you because you're like, not any one body is the same with pregnancy. Everybody carries differently. If it's your second or third, you're definitely going to show quicker. But yeah, social media makes it a lot harder on yourself.
What is your relationship with social media? Because obviously your work is social media.
Yeah.
You're very active on there, always sharing parts of your life. How have you kind of learned? How long have you been doing it actually?
Like
As a job.
as a
full-time?
job. So we started at the beginning of 2022, but I didn't go full time until the end of 2022. So
Okay.
it was almost 2023. So very like relatively new.
Yeah.
It kind of like, I say blew up, but I feel like some people have like a blow up moment and it's like a 2-week thing and then they go from like nothing to like millions.
Yeah.
That's not how it was for us, but it definitely like over the first year we hit 1 million at 1 year. Like literally to the day. It was crazy.
If you hear baby noises,
Yeah.
there's a
That's
baby in here.
That's my baby. She's self-soothing, by the way. That's what she does when she's trying to go back to sleep.
Aw.
But anyway, so when I went full time, it was kind of a gradual, like, I don't know, progression. And yeah, it's only been like 3 or 4 years. But my relationship with social media is I don't really consume a lot of social media, if I'm being honest. Like,
Yeah.
I don't follow, I follow people, but I'm not really like closely monitoring anyone like in particular. I kind of just scroll. Like, I don't even really I haven't gone on TikTok. This is going to sound crazy, but I have not actually opened my TikTok app in over a year, probably.
So good.
Taylor posts everything.
Yeah.
And TikTok is one
Kate's
of those.
husband is named Taylor, just
Yes,
so.
that is a little confusing.
Yeah.
So my Taylor.
Yes. Just for our listeners that weren't aware of that.
There's a lot of Tays and Taylors going to be thrown around here. But my Taylor, he does all the social media posting. And it just got to like a few years ago, I was struggling mentally, like reading comments. And I'm not a post and ghost person. I have to read all the comments. And it mentally starts getting to you when you have way too much feedback coming. Like no one single person should be seeing that much about people.
Okay, so first of all, Tay posts everything. She just said it. She just admitted it, which means that she has little to no say, likely, about what actually gets posted and how she gets framed online, which is something else. But she also just admitted to reading all of the comments and obsessively reading all of the comments. Now, that's not just hate comments. There are also critical comments saying, hey, don't exploit your children online. Hey, there's mean people online. There's bad people online. And also, we've seen a ton of creepy comments since starting covering them, especially when the girls are involved. And it is so unhinged that they just admitted to seeing and reading all of this stuff and do nothing about it. It is irresponsible parenting at its finest. And it just came out of the horse's mouth. Wild.
People's opinions about themselves or how they're parenting or how they're living their lives or whatever. And a lot of people have really mean, nasty opinions about people. And so I just got to a point where I was like, I can't get on that app anymore. It to me seemed more toxic than Instagram.
Yeah.
I feel like with Instagram, it's more of a community. I feel like Tay and I both have created a really good community on there.
Yeah.
And I can get on there a little bit easier than I can TikTok, but I haven't been on there over a year probably.
No, that's
crazy.
That's really good.
I thought about deleting the app, to be honest, because I don't really have a reason to be on there.
Yeah.
Because Tay posts it. So
Yeah, no, that's really good. And I feel like too, when I'm posting more on, like because I'm in no way, I don't consider myself a content creator because that's a job title that I do not own because I'm not posting multiple times a day. Like there's no consistency anywhere in anything. But when I am trying to be more consistent with posting, I find myself not on the apps as much because it is more like work. So I'm not really like, I'll pop on to like, respond to a couple comments and do whatever tricks that people say you're supposed to do for the engagement that I'll like go off.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good spot to be in. And that's probably helped a lot with, were you seeing the comments more so like in the beginning or before you stopped
the
looking?
comments? Yeah. In the beginning, it was, nobody really knew who we were in the beginning. So the comments were a little bit more harsh because they were just like, they had no idea what our story was or anything. And then as we built a community, they got a little better. But with TikTok, the people there are just a little more brutal. And so I would see all those comments, like, especially as we started getting larger and getting more views. And yeah, it was really hard to get on. People make like the talking head videos is what I call them. And so they'll like take something that you like said, whether it's on a podcast or in a reel that you posted or, a story or whatever.
Hi, Kay. Yes, we do make talking head videos about you because you're a liar and you guys suck. So yeah.
And they'll clip it and then they'll post it and put a little talking head and it's like critiquing whatever you said. And I just didn't want to like run into those kind of videos. So I was like, I'm just going to shut it out. And it's a job. Like you said, it's job. It helps me provide for my family. And that's really what I have to like mentally tell myself.
Yeah, no, that's such a good relationship to have with it. When you, and since becoming parents, you and Taylor, how do you feel like your relationship has evolved? And do you have any advice for myself and my marriage and for anyone listening that's maybe a new parent?
Yes. I would say it's actually something, I don't want to say like struggled, but it was definitely
Why is the audio so off?
An awakening for Tay and I to have our first together because we were together like
the audio is so off. I gotta go check this.
A new parent.
Yes. I would say
Oh, okay. So it is the podcast. I don't know if it adjusts itself, but try not to look at her mouth, I guess.
This is definitely an awakening for Tay and I to have our first together, because we were together like almost 8 years before we got pregnant. So we had a lot of time where it was like we didn't have like an infant. And once we did, you almost get like this, without even trying, you almost get like this roommate feeling where you're both just like deep in the parenting. And in order to get out of that, we really had to like prioritize time together, like in the evenings. And I feel like this is very normal for most couples, but you kind of unintentionally get into this like roommate stage where you just feel like you're just deep in the weeds of parenting and you're not sleeping. I wasn't really doing a whole lot to like, not that I let myself go, but I mean, I was just like, I was breastfeeding and I had milk stains and I was pumping all the time and I was, still looked pregnant.
Yeah.
So we really had to like prioritize our evenings together. So once we put the girls down, even in the very beginning when Sutton was still like not on a schedule, we would like put her down next to us and we would like have a movie night. And we really try to do that multiple times a week. And I think that helps a lot. We don't personally like go out to dinner a lot, but I feel like that is something like prioritizing a date night.
Yeah.
Even if that is at home, like just as long as you're prioritizing time between you two, at the end of the day, like your kids will have a better life if their parents are like if they have a strong relationship. Like you want to be able to model that relationship for your children.
So
and because that's more important than, not that your kids shouldn't come first, but your kids really, in my opinion, should not come before your marriage. Like you have to balance it.
Yeah.
You can't let your marriage go.
Yeah. No, I've been trying to, we've been trying to do like date nights and things, or like if something happens and we're like, oh, a date brunch, like Taylor, or I got a nail in the tire and Taylor took my Taylor.
Taylor.
We're used to multiple Taylors over here.
Yeah.
So I think our lemon drops will get it. I got a nail in the tire and he went to go like fix it for me, but then I had to go pick him up because they were changing it. And then I was hungry. So we ended up like getting tacos at this restaurant next door. And we're like, oh, date. Like we were like trying to kind of like romanticize all of our like little moments together.
Yeah. That's literally our like slogan, is romanticizing all of life's moments, whether that's like going furniture shopping or just literally anything. We try to just romanticize every aspect of it. And that's such a good way to put it, is like, even if it's just a nail in the tire and you have to like go get it fixed or something, make it a date, like make it fun.
Yeah. What does like support look like for the two of you, and how do you ask or have that line of communication with your partner when you're needing more support? Because I feel like a lot of women haven't maybe had those conversations yet with their spouses about needing that support, because a lot of, especially if you're breastfeeding, a lot of the job falls on the mom. What would your advice be on that?
I mean, you definitely can't hold in your feelings. I feel like with Taylor, I've learned to be very open and just like honest with him when I'm feeling anyway. Like after I had Ellie, I was not expecting, like I said, with Kinsley, with my first, I didn't really have like postpartum depression or baby blues, nothing. Like I wasn't, obviously that marriage ended, but in terms of like the pregnancy emotions and mental health, I was pretty good.
Yeah, it's really easy to not go through any type of postpartum struggles when you're not parenting your children full time. And when you have one, maybe two nannies on staff 24/7 full time, and you're off gallivanting, doing whatever. It's a weird message / advice. No, not necessarily. Right message, wrong messenger. Because this person is learning for the first time what it's like to be a mom, quote unquote, of young children, newborn, toddler, etc. Yet still isn't present or barely present because she travels so much for work. So yeah. Don't take her advice.
But with Taylor, I wasn't expecting to have like such significant sadness afterwards. Like it hit me like out of nowhere. I would just cry for nothing, like literally nothing. And I had to learn to just tell him, like, this is how I'm feeling. I need your support. I need you to help me. And I will say I am very lucky that I have somebody who takes on the parenting. Like he doesn't babysit. He's 100% in. And I think that's such a big thing. And I feel like you said, a lot of women don't have that, but I feel like if they're not experiencing that with their husband, they've just...
Again, it's really easy to say all this when you have nannies on staff full time.
Just gotta like tell them. They have to tell them like, hey, I'm overwhelmed.
She's neglecting today.
Moms do get overwhelmed. You're breastfeeding. You're going through body changes, and you just have to be open to communication.
Yeah. Did you breastfeed with both, or I guess all of your pregnancies?
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out like what I want to do. I think because I don't know why it is such a common question.
And it's such a controversial one too.
Yeah.
Like, so many people have very strong opinions about it.
Yeah. I just read an article. I think her name is Elsie. It's Pete Davidson's wife.
Okay, yeah.
or partner, baby mama. I'm not sure where they're at into their marital journey. But she wrote an article that my friend sent me about her decision to not breastfeed. And it actually was like it just kind of like opened my eyes to, just like it was really nice to just read someone talking about it, because the truth is there's also like, I have friends that, did formula with their first and then breastfed the second, or vice versa. I also have friends that her first one breastfed and then the second one was allergic to her breast milk. So she had to do formula. Like there was just like so many random things. So I think I'm trying to go into it with like both, like what if my baby doesn't want to latch? What if there's just so many
there's so many variables.
Yeah.
And like you said, like you can have one really good like breastfeeding journey, and then you can have not a good breastfeeding journey, and you just have to do what is mentally best for you.
Yeah.
And like that is a hill I will die on, by the way, which I could not think of that earlier, but that's so like to my core. I feel like obviously I've made the decision to breastfeed, but that's my decision. That doesn't mean that any other mom that's going to do it a different way is wrong. A fed baby is best in my opinion. But and like even this journey with Sutton, I have lupus. I can't take my lupus medication when I'm breastfeeding. So I mentally went into it this time knowing that if I had to stop, I would stop. And I'm not going to like torture myself because I have like this goal, which is what I did the last time with Ellie. I had this goal and I was like miserable and I felt terrible all postpartum. And I think you just have to do what's best for you, because a mentally sane mom is so much better than a mom who is just, they can't do it anymore. You're just mentally like struggling every single day. Like that's not good for your baby. So I think you have to like just tune out all of the opinions. Like you're going to see
See, that's interesting to me, and I'm no expert in lupus. I really, really don't know much about it or the medication and stuff like that. Obviously, not safe for pregnancy, not safe for breastfeeding. So good that she's not taking it while she's breastfeeding. But if it's as bad as Tay, oh my gosh, I keep getting their names mixed up. If it's as bad as Kay claims it to be, and the symptoms and everything, is it necessarily the best decision to not take your medication to breastfeed, especially as people who are privileged enough to be able to afford formula? And also from a nursing perspective, a pro breastfeeding perspective, stuff like that, I understand why someone would want to choose to breastfeed, right? But I just feel like with something as serious as lupus that makes her feel so terrible as it does,
allegedly,
I don't know if it's necessarily the best trade-off, I guess you could say, to stop your medication to continue breastfeeding if it's as bad as she claims it to be. And it just kind of makes you question things, Because I know personally for me, and obviously it's not the same thing, but I had to go off my ADHD medication when I was pregnant, and that alone was a struggle because it helps me function day to day. Otherwise, my brain is a literal mess. It's chaos. So I don't know. Anyone with autoimmune disorders or anything like that who's been through this, please share your experiences down in the comments, because I love to learn about things and when people offer different perspectives and stuff. But I'm just wondering, is it the best decision, I guess, especially for your own personal health?
Not just on breastfeeding, like everything you do, whether you get the epidural, like you're gonna get so much unsolicited advice. It's not even funny. I'm sure you already have. And it's just like, you just gotta do you. You. Don't worry about anybody else. Like, you know what your baby needs. You know what you need. You know what your husband needs.
Yeah.
And I think that's like priority number one.
Yeah, that's so true. What has your experience been? You've kind of talked about like postpartum, and did you struggle with postpartum depression with any of your pregnancies?
Yes. So my last pregnancy, I feel like I got through it a lot quicker. I was just telling Tay the other day, I kind of thought that I had gotten through it this time, like, a few months in, but I've even the last like few months, like, and it could be because I've been so sick, but I feel like the last month or two, like, I don't know if it's like a relapse or what, but I felt like just so sad. Like I'll just cry for no reason. And I've heard that it can like happen like that. Like you can just have like days where you feel great mentally, and then you can just not feel good again. Honestly, the hardest part of postpartum for me is just like crying about every single thing, and literally not like, I don't even have to have a reason to cry. I can just literally feel hopeless.
Yeah.
It's so weird because you'll just cry and like,
That's
hey,
all.
what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't even know how to fix it because I don't even know what's wrong with me. I'm just sad for no reason. That's very challenging. That's the hardest part for me. Like I feel like guys, when women cry, are just like, what do I do? Like, how do I fix this? And it's like biologic for like good men to want to fix the problem. And that's something that Tay, like, I think it would get to him when, like my Tay, it would get to him whenever I would be crying and he would like not know how to fix it, and he wanted to fix it so bad. And it took a while for him to realize like there's nothing he can do to fix it. He just has to be there for me. That's like the biggest thing, is just making sure that for like other women too, like, don't let your husband like feel like they need to fix it, and don't expect them to fix it, because they're not going to. Like, you're just going to feel this way 2 hours later or the next day. Just holding you, saying whatever you need to vent, like just like a vent sesh, like, that helps a lot. I'll just vent about like a million things. And he's like, okay. And he just like listens. It's just getting to that point in your relationship where it's an open door and you can just vent and listen to each other. I think that's been really, really helpful for us.
Yeah. I've been trying to practice that more before the baby comes. I want to talk about your lupus. You touched on it a little bit. That's something that I've been learning more about because during all of the pregnancy and my testing, I had my autoimmune marker come back positive. Thankfully, my cells are just speckled, which means that I only have like a 5% chance of getting lupus. But
that's still there.
yeah. But it was something that I literally had no clue about. So, and that I feel like there are a lot of celebrities that have lupus, and I've heard of it, but I never really have thought of it deeply until going through that. When were you diagnosed with lupus?
January 2025.
Oh, wow.
It took me 6 years to get diagnosed. It's been a long journey, like one of the hardest journeys I've ever been through. But there was just something about being validated. Like I knew for years.
Yes.
So my mom has lupus, which is another reason I kept pushing and advocating for myself because so she got diagnosed in her 30s. She had symptoms for years, but she didn't get diagnosed until I was like late teens. And I saw what she went through. And I mean, when I say like carbon copy, my mom and I are like, when it comes to our bodies and like health, we're like the same, like on a checkbook, like literally the same. So she was able to like see my symptoms very early on. I mean, it was so mild that most people, including myself, probably would have just like brushed it off. I would have like random little like body aches and then, kind of where you feel like you're about to get the flu or something. And then it wouldn't happen for like 2 weeks. So I just didn't really like take it seriously at first. And she was like, no, that's like, you need to at least be checked. Like, I'm not saying you have lupus. There's so many symptoms with autoimmune that overlap, which is another reason it takes so long to get diagnosed. But she was like, I just think you need to at least like get a referral, see a rheumatologist. And I did all of the initial labs. Every single one of them came back fine. Like they were like, you don't have anything wrong. You don't have autoimmune condition. You have nothing. There was one marker actually. It was my inflammation markers were elevated. But they were like that, it could be that you're getting sick. It could be they kind of suspected maybe rheumatoid arthritis, but like seronegative rheumatoid arthritis. And then they said like fibromyalgia, I feel like a lot of people get diagnosed with that first because they can't find anything that's wrong. So in the very beginning, I just like kind of, I don't know, not that I was gaslit, but I was kind of just told like, you're fine. And that was very struggle. Like as it started getting worse, it was a struggle to get doctors to listen to me. And then slowly but surely my symptoms, because I mean, this is the way it is for most people, I think, that are diagnosed. Their symptoms usually happen first, but their labs don't ever match that until it gets like more severe. So that's what happened with me. And I advocated because I knew my mom had the same symptoms. And I was like, listen, my mom has it. I have like five times, I think it's like if it's a direct parent, it's like 5 times more likely for like their child to have it. Yeah. So I just kept advocating for myself. And one time I switched doctors because I moved out of state. And then I saw 2 different rheumatologists in Texas once I moved to Texas. And my most recent one, she's been incredible. Like 3 years ago, I started seeing her and she saw my labs like getting worse and she saw my symptoms and she started piecing the puzzle together. And she basically called it lupus before I got the official diagnosis because I didn't quite meet the criteria. So she started treating me with hydroxychloroquine, and that actually can make your labs like not show up. And so after I had Ellie, I'd still been taking my hydroxychloroquine, but I was still having symptoms, but I think it was considered mild enough that my labs like were still not really showing anything. So she had me come off of it. And it has like a 50-day half-life. So you have to wait like over 2 months or so before you would probably get labs showing up. And then she retested everything and it all came back like lupus. Like she was like, I think you were masking it just enough with the medication. And then also being postpartum, I think it brought out the lupus worse. So I was able to get diagnosed, which was incredible. And I was so thankful. Like I remember crying because I was happy that I got diagnosed because I knew like I didn't want to be diagnosed, but I wanted validation. I wanted to be treated. I wanted to be able to tell, doctors or what, whoever would need to know like, hey, I wanted a name for it. And I didn't have a name up to that point. It was just like, I had something autoimmune, but I don't know what. And that was so beyond frustrating because when people ask like, well, what's wrong with you? And you tell them you don't feel good. They're just like, well, you don't have anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just gives like so much validation when you have like a title for it, an actual name. People take it more seriously. So that was very exciting to finally get that. But I would say since I got the diagnosis, like things didn't get better. Like I thought they were going to get better, but they didn't get better. In fact, my health got worse. I got pregnant again, so I still couldn't be on medication. I'm breastfeeding, still can't be on medication. And I think I just thought it was going to be a light switch and like, oh, everything's good. And in some ways it is, but I feel like now I get more skepticism online. People that don't like me are like, oh, she's probably just lying about it. And I'm like, guys, like I could show you my chart. Like it has the diagnosis code in there. Like I'm not lying about it. And that's hard. So that's another reason I don't look at comments because, I'm just trying to advocate for people who struggled for years like I did. Because you start to feel crazy. You start to feel like a hypochondriac. For sure. And then you get that validation. And like, I just want to be like a voice for other people who are in that same position because they may not have a mom that like has it that can help push them along.
You are not going to be the internet mom. You are not someone that anyone should be getting any internet mom advice from. But I do understand how that must have been frustrating. Not being believed and all the things. And allegedly, she has a diagnosis code now, whatever that means. But you don't take her advice. Just don't.
Yeah, I just want to keep pushing, like be a voice for lupus. I've been getting more into lupus.org so I could, help with fundraisers. And I'm actually speaking on Saturday at a conference in Dallas. My first public speaking thing. I'm very nervous.
Oh my gosh, you'll do
no,
great.
we get like millions of views, but it's not the same as getting on a stage and talking
for sure
in a microphone. So I'm very nervous about that, but I'm excited because I feel like if I'm going to look at having this like in one way, it's I was given lupus so that I could be a voice for other people. Because I feel like not enough people talk about it. There's no like, nobody, like so many people don't understand what it is. Like the amount of people, I didn't even realize it, but now being on social media, the amount of people that comment and DM us every day and they're like, what's lupus? I have no idea what that is. And I just feel like more people need to talk about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Especially, I feel like really this whole pregnancy has really opened my eyes to a lot of women's health. Obviously, I've a woman, and I feel like being a woman and trying to seek medical advice sometimes can be so hard because our bodies go through so much stuff, but also because there's so little testing has been done in the past, and we're just now starting to finally like have women in trial groups for medications and like just like crazy things that I just assumed was like a normal thing, but it's not.
It's not. And like, it's funny you say that because I was recently diagnosed as an adult with ADHD. Yes. And this is another reason that I blink, by the way. I'm not trying to like use excuses, but I'm like, I sometimes will be talking and then flatline. I don't know what I'm saying. But I knew something was like up, like for, especially postpartum. It's like it got worse after I had my babies, but working and like doing brain deals where I have to remember like a CTA, I'm like, the amount of times today I have to refilm something because I'm like, what's the percentage off again? Like I'll just, 1 second he'll tell me it and the next second I forget it. So I finally decided I was going to get tested. And as a child, I only knew boys that had it. I didn't know any girls that had it. And in fact, like doctors would never even like look at girls and say, oh, there's a chance she has that. Like it was so rare to find doctors that would do that. And I just really.
So yeah, that's totally true. 90s kid here. Girls were not diagnosed, severely underdiagnosed because they didn't have the hyperactivity that was bouncing off the walls. Oftentimes you would shut down and internalize all of your shortcomings and failures because your brain didn't work the same way. Whereas the boys showed those outward displays of hyperactivity. But just because you're not bouncing off the walls doesn't mean you don't have ADHD. It can show up and manifest in different ways, like stimming or fidgeting, or which is a form of stimming, but whatever, right? It can be twirling hair, or kicking the feet, however it presents. But girls often get quiet and, like I said, just internalize all of their failures. I had a kid in my kindergarten class, scarred for life. Never forget this. And he was literally jumping from table to table to table. And we had this old, awful, grouchy teacher, and she would just like chase him. It's so freaking funny. So funny. And even now, that's why we're seeing a large influx of women getting diagnosed with ADHD late. And it's not this whole, oh, it's a new trend. No, it was underdiagnosed, and a lot of us fell through the cracks. So
thought like if I wasn't bouncing off the walls, there's no way I would have ADHD.
That's funny.
So my parents never looked into it. I mean, I saw a counselor growing up for separate reasons than ADHD, obviously, but I saw a counselor, never suspected it.
Yeah.
But I struggled like mentally. And I mean, I know that my mom would probably disagree, but I feel like I was a really bad kid in a lot of ways. And it sucks knowing I could have been helped for so many years. Like I just had to live like that and think I was just like different, like I struggled with school. I didn't graduate, which is something I don't think I've never really talked about that, but a lot of people, I think, I don't know the percentage exactly, but it's super common with people with ADHD to not finish school. Like I did get my GED, but to not finish college. I didn't finish college. I went to school, actually started going to nursing school. My mom was a nurse and I didn't finish. And so I feel like I always would start things and then I would fail. Like I failed everything growing up. I failed so many things. And it wasn't until I started like doing this as a job that I was trying to like remember things and I couldn't remember them that I finally decided to get tested. And I'll never forget, this has only been a couple months ago, so I mean, I haven't forgotten yet, but I will never forget. He called me and he was like, I don't think this is going to come to us as a surprise to you, but it's very obvious you have ADHD. I was like, okay, cool. So that was like, again, validating, because then it was like, I had an answer for all the things, but it sucks that they didn't look at girls.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my childhood was robbed in a way because I didn't get looked at. Like, I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah. No, I think.
But it didn't get robbed from you for all the other reasons that you were in counseling for? I don't know. I get what she's saying, and once again, it's right message, wrong messenger. Because I also got a late diagnosis of ADHD. I only got diagnosed a handful of years ago, and I'm pretty sure it's an incomplete diagnosis. Like, I've been open and honest with you guys. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, not just ADHD. And I get what she's saying. I do. Because sometimes I wonder, like, what would my life be had I been diagnosed? But the thing is like, I was even tested as a child. My parents brought me to someone because my mom advocated for me. She saw that I was struggling. She had the feeling that something was up, and I still didn't get a diagnosis after going through probably a psych ed education assessment. So even with proper advocacy, girls still fell through the cracks. And it sucks because, like I was saying, I do wonder sometimes like how my life would be different had I had the diagnosis and the support and maybe the meds, whatever, when I was growing up and was able to focus in school. It's also a huge reason why I advocated for my children who very, very clearly have ADHD struggles, like myself and their father, because I don't want them to fall through the cracks and I don't want them to struggle in the same ways that I had to struggle. It's not fair. Again, I get what she's saying, but I don't know. There's something else up. There's something else going on. There's other reasons why she was in counseling and stuff, and there's something else. There's something off about this, you know? Right message, wrong messenger. And maybe it is a matter of she was a bad kid because of the ADHD and she was acting out because of it and she was trying to like self-regulate and self-medicate to deal with the symptoms of it. Maybe that's always a possibility, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird. And we know that she lies all the time. I don't know. Just questioning things, I guess.
The average age, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I think the average age that women get diagnosed with ADHD is like around 40.
Yeah.
Like it's some like crazy stat. One of my friends is she's a therapist and she specializes in ADHD. She has ADHD herself, and we had her on the podcast like probably season 1. But she literally was telling me these stats, and I was like, it's so crazy.
It's crazy. Like when I started sharing about it, this is another reason it's so annoying to me. But I was sharing about the testing process and like that I thought I had it, and I'd never talked about it. So I think people were like, why is she trying to jump on this trend of having ADHD? I'm like, guys, you don't understand what this has done to my entire life. Like there's so much more that I don't share on social media. But once I got tested and I shared it, people were like, this is just a trend. Like everybody's getting diagnosed with ADHD. Everybody has a little ADHD. Like that's not true. I hate when people say that. Everybody has symptoms of ADHD sometimes. Like maybe your brain is a little like clustered or whatever. But like they would say like, oh, that's just being a mom for you. And I'm like, no, it's not. I wasn't a mom in school. I wasn't a mom when I was a kid. So that's frustrating. I think that's happening because people are not like women.
When people diminish the struggles that people with ADHD have, it drives me up the wall. It is so disrespectful and inconsiderate. And it's like we already judge ourselves enough because we're not able to do basic care tasks or like everyday tasks, and that automatically makes you feel like a total failure. It truly does. And then you have all this external talk basically labeling you as lazy, as whatever, which is not true and harmful. And it is so hard to put into words the struggle that people with ADHD face day in and day out and how exhausting it is to struggle with it. And just not be able to do what everyone else can do, what everybody else is doing, or keep up or anything like that. And it's so incredibly obvious that you just don't get it. You don't get it. And it is hard to put into words what we're struggling with to make someone who doesn't get it understand, if that makes sense.
Diagnosed in adulthood now. Like it's suddenly getting like people think it's being overdiagnosed. I think it was underdiagnosed, and now people are finally acknowledging it. And so people that don't have it are just like, yeah, sure, like you know what I mean? Like So it does suck. And again, it's like I feel like women just get so like they get gaslit when it comes to medical stuff, and you just have to keep advocating for yourself because there's a lot of crappy doctors out there. I had a doctor when I was trying to find out if I had lupus, and I went to her and I was like, it hurts when I breathe in the mornings, like specifically in the mornings. I wake up and I try to breathe in, and my chest is like it's like sharp pain. And she was like, I mean, if I could help you, or she said, if I could help you, I would help my grandson. He has asthma. Take your inhaler. I mean, it was like literally because I do have asthma. I was like, this isn't asthma though. She just completely blew me off. She's like, if I could help you, I would help my grandson who has asthma, but like, there's nothing you can do. I was like, this isn't asthma. Like I left that office crying. And I never went back to her again, obviously, but it's just like doctors like that exist, and it sucks because they don't listen, especially if you're a woman.
Yeah. I need to talk to you about.
Why is he here? Is he only here for the name? Does he ever appear on this podcast? Like, is it only just because, but he's behind the scenes guy? Like, I feel like that's clickbait.
That's why it's so important too for people with platforms to share about this stuff. So I'm so thankful that you're like willing to be open and honest and share about this stuff, because it is really important. And I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, and I know a lot of my friends have learned about themselves just from people sharing on the internet. Like I did like a solo episode, just me talking about like first trimester stuff and how I was feeling. And I have actually never received so many messages, even still, and it was like over a month ago, just from women being like, I've never heard someone like talk about it like this before. And it's just really important that we do that. And I feel like lucky that, kind of like you said, like you, like having the mindset of like, you were given lupus to like, you know, have this platform and to talk about it and to share about it. And that's such an amazing mindset
Thank you.
to have. So I'm proud of you for having that. What advice would you give women or men, people out there listening that are feeling similar to how you have felt multiple times in the past, stuck trying to advocate for themselves, but not being heard?
I would say don't give up, because you know your body better than a doctor who spends 20 minutes with you, who's late to the appointment. Like you're showing up on time, you're living with yourself every day, and they walk in after making you wait 30 minutes and they're like, oh, you're fine. Like they're never going to know. Like they're looking at labs. A good doctor will look at labs and then they'll look at your symptoms and piece it together. But a lot of doctors don't do that, unfortunately. And so you know yourself better than anyone else does. You're your biggest fan. You're your biggest advocate. And you just have to, don't give up on yourself. Like, you know, and if you know, then keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know, see a different doctor if you have to. If they're blowing you off, like go to a different doctor. Like what's stopping you, you know?
Yeah. No, that's so good. Yeah.
Money?
That's great.
Money is likely what stops a lot of people from getting a second opinion, especially in the United States, or just doctor hopping or getting a diagnosis, period. Money. It's usually that. And Kay wouldn't know this because she's a multimillionaire who's extremely out of touch with reality. So spending $4,000, which is what a psych ed assessment costs in Canada, at least uninsured, because it's not covered at all, because mental health doesn't matter, right? It's no skin off her back to spend that money. But I assume that's what the barrier is for a lot of people who aren't multimillionaires for exploiting their children on the internet. Just a guess, though.
Still being in postpartum, I'm curious if there are any parts of yourself that you're rediscovering or maybe protecting more now. As mom, as Kay, as a woman, is there anything that after, you know, having your baby 6 months ago, you're relearning about yourself, or maybe since your diagnosis, like maybe you're going into how you approach life a little differently, like protecting a little part of yourself differently?
Yeah, I think before I didn't put myself, I didn't care about myself enough. Everything, like my children are my world, and they're obviously like the top of my world in my life. But like I said earlier, like they have to have a mentally.
Imagine saying that your children are your top priority when you spend about 10 minutes a week with them. And I realize that there is a level of nuance to this because working moms, right? Moms who work 9 to 5. But the added layer in the Kay and Tay lore is the fact that when they're home with their children, the camera is always on. It is always filming. So even when they're home, there's still no genuine connection with their children. It's purely performative. Like that's just such a wild thing to say. My kids are my top priority, but they're with the nanny 24/8.
Stable mom. And I think especially going through the second pregnancy, I've really tried to prioritize like my mental health, making sure that I'm a good parent for them. At the end of the day, everything I do is for them. But also like just caring about myself. Like there's this trend going around that's like getting my pink back. I don't know if you've seen that, but I think so many moms, we put so much into our children that we forget that we're also living this life for the first time. And this is the only life we get. Like I think about that all the time with my parents. I'm like, they did their best and they're still doing their best. They're living this year of life for the first time. And you know, you never get these years back. Like you really have to soak all of it in and just like think about yourself too. I guess that's like my biggest thing is also caring about myself more.
Yeah, I love that. Last little, I'm obsessed.
Oh, this woman, this is such BS. Honestly, she goes and gets her nails done every other freaking day. She gets her hair done every week. She's constantly off doing photo shoots where she gets pampered and primed and pretty and perfect. She's doing award shows. Most women don't get a day off for years, or they get literally one day off a year and they can't even afford self-care activities or to do anything self-care wise. Everything Kay says is so out of touch, it's unhinged. Like for her to sit here and be like, oh, I'm trying to get my pink back. Like, what the? Shut up. You have no idea. Like, stop acting like you're a struggling single mom or a struggling mom, period. You have more help than most moms can dream of. And she's sitting here trying to be all relatable, and it's like you're not.
mess with these baby sounds that are
Oh my
coming
gosh, she's
from out
literally
there.
going crazy.
No, I doubt that. Like, I doubt that the mic is picking it up. But
She's found her voice, so she likes to scream.
I'm obsessed with it. So it's literally my favorite thing. I'm loving it. It's good. It's good practice for me hearing the baby sounds and getting used to it. Last little thing I want to talk about is your brand that you recently launched. Can you tell our Lemon Drops a little bit about it?
Yes. So I recently launched the brand Hey New, which is Hey Nutrition. We started with protein bars. So with hopes to expand into other like nutrition. Like we're also looking at doing like a daily gummy. Those are like really in right now. People love the easy breezy, like just like
I love a chewable.
You know what I mean? Just like to be able to, and it tastes good, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, without saying it, but we are kind of like working on that right now. But
Without
I
saying
really
it,
wanted
you just
something,
said
because
it.
having lupus, like I'm not going to claim that I'm the best eater. Like I eat things in moderation that are not probably the best for me and I could do without, but I really struggled finding like a protein bar that was good for me and didn't make me feel like bloated and like flared. I feel like there's so many protein bars taste like candy bars. Like they're not good for you. People think that because it says protein on it, it's good for you. That's not true. But then it's like on the opposite, there would be protein bars that were good for you, but they tasted horrible.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like what inspired this, was that I really wanted something that tasted good but was healthy, and I think it tastes good. It's inspired by my protein ball recipe actually. So I would make protein balls because I didn't like any protein bars on the market that were good for you. And I would have so many people that were like, I want your protein bar or ball recipe. So I was like, what if we just like use this like recipe, this idea, and like make it into a bar. And that's kind of where that came from. But I also felt like a lot of the bars on the market were so like, they market towards people in the gym. They market towards like bodybuilders and people who are super, super fit. And not everybody is like going to the gym every day and like trying to, have.
We're not Gaines's life over here.
Yeah, like 0% body fat. Like a lot of people just need something in the middle of the day, or when they're dropping their kids off at school and they forgot breakfast, or on the airplane, kids. Like I wanted the bars to be soft enough, but also you wouldn't feel guilty giving them to your kids.
Yes.
So my whole motto with these bars is that they're inclusive to everybody. And in order to make them inclusive to everybody, we made them dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan. They're free of the top 9 allergens. There's no sugar alcohols, no stevia. A lot of people don't like stevia. I personally think it tastes gross. And I feel like it also like upsets a lot of people's stomach. And then, just making it taste good, but healthy. So we had to make it inclusive to everybody.
For $1,000 for 6 bars and a $10 return shipping fee if you don't like them.
Everybody. And I feel like we really accomplished that. I'm really excited. We're about to drop ours. So we've done one launch and it sold out in under 24 hours, which we did not anticipate. And we're going to double like our, we actually are doing another run in like a week and a half, or no, a week from now.
So when this is live, there will be
there will be another launch. Well, the bars will be made. We're launching like a few days later.
Yeah.
But this next one we doubled, and we're going to keep doubling as long as everything's doing good. And we have some new flavors that we're about to bring out. But we did tweak this second launch. Like the second batch is even better. So like the first one, I felt like we pushed the vegan bar space to its max. Like if you're going to add sweetness, like you have to take something else out. If you have a 55-gram bar, you're going to have to it's like playing Jenga, and it's very hard to make it good and like healthy and taste good without like you have to sacrifice somewhere.
For sure.
And I didn't like that idea. I was like, I don't like sacrificing. And I did feel like there could be improvements with my first run. So the second time, we went up to Utah the other day and we spent an entire day with our food scientist. And I was just like testing like the proteins by themselves. We found out that our protein, we originally were using the specific pea protein. It was like drying out our bars. And it was supposedly the best protein on the market, like pea protein. And I tried it next to the one that we ended up going with. And you could tell just visually looking at them that the protein we originally used, it was more expensive and it was better, but it wasn't. It was like soaking up all, like you could just see it was like dry compared. So we made like little tweaks. We ended up upping the fiber, lowering the sugar, but making it a little more sweet. So I was like, I wish we would have done this with the first launch, but it's kind of cool because we have like our whole community is on, like we're bringing them on the journey with us. No brand is perfect the first time it runs. And I think listening to your community and seeing like what they felt about the bars, what they'd like to see, I think that's so important. So that's kind of what we did. And I'm really excited. So
I love that. I need to try them because I've been on a protein journey too. I feel like especially being pregnant, I'm trying to like make sure I am getting enough protein. And also I want to like have food that's filling. That's good for me because I consume so much food right now.
That's okay. It's fuel. You need to be doing that for your baby.
Yeah. No, I love that. Okay. Let's head into our last little segment. It's called Lemon 7. 7 questions. You could rapid fire them, or if you have a story to tell, feel free to share. Number 1 is, what movie or song title best describes your mental health today?
I think The Pursuit of Happiness.
Love that.
Because I feel like my life lately, there's been so many things that have made me feel like I want to give up and like it's not working out. My health is one of them. Like my body's like, nope, like you're not gonna feel good today. And I think I just have to, I just like tell myself like I just gotta keep going. And I feel like that movie really like it kind of like gives that. It's like he keeps trying despite all the challenges. So I feel like that's a good one.
That's special. Number 2 is, how open are you with people in your life when struggling?
With Taylor, I'm very open. I've learned to be very open, like I said earlier. But with other people in my life, I don't tend to share as much, especially online. I'm very private, despite how much we share online. But like, I just feel like people aren't going to get it a lot of times. And
Must be nice to allow yourself privacy, but your children absolutely zero privacy or consent in having their entire lives exploited online. Must be nice. She gets to pick and choose to be private and not share everything, and because people won't understand and people will be big meanies and judgmental, but here, let me plaster my children in vulnerable moments or their worst moments or their best moments or their private moments over social media. Makes sense.
I need to be more open with people, but I feel like my biggest supporter is Tay, and he's my best friend, so he knows me, he gets me, he knows when I'm upset.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely with him I am.
Number 3 is if you could follow 3 social media accounts, what would they be?
Oh my goodness. See, I don't consume content a lot right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know like a specific like Instagram account. But I think I would definitely want somebody who like makes me feel like I can keep going. So somebody that helps me feel motivated, like a motivational type account. And then let me think, somebody who makes me laugh, because I think that's super important. At the end of the day, like you have to laugh, you have to enjoy, like a good comedy show or movie is always good. You know? So one that makes me laugh. And then probably like a family member to stay in touch with my family.
That's sweet. Number 4 is, what is your favorite form of self-care?
Skincare, for sure.
I need to try that oil you were talking about or whatever.
The glow serum?
Yeah.
You should try it. I have one here if you want it.
Well, no, my
No, I have like a million at the house. I have one with me. It's just, it's my new, so I did like 2 sizes.
Okay.
And I just dropped my travel size. It's to give people not the 3-month commitment if they just want to try it. And it's like a 1.5 month commitment. But I have it. I just opened it yesterday.
Okay. Well, if you're not going to use it, I might take it.
No, you should.
Because I've been trying to find skincare things that are also pregnancy safe that also graze my skin. So that's been really fun.
It's a good one.
Fun for me. Number 5 is, what is the most misunderstood thing about you?
Probably that I feel fine because I'm doing a lot of things, but I don't actually feel fine. Just because I'm like showing up, it doesn't mean that I'm actually fine. Like I'm just pushing myself to the limit a lot of times. And I think that's definitely the one that I get most often is like, oh, she's fine on trips. Like she's fine to go do this. I'm like, guys, like I do it when I need to do it. Like that's why when I'm
that's direct quotes from Reddit right there. They live in Reddit.
Oh my, don't do anything. I'm on the couch like because I pushed myself for the last week and a half,
Yeah,
for sure.
I love that answer so much, especially because people are so quick to leave comments and things and have opinions on social media. And we also forget that it's important for us to do that, to push ourselves to do things. Because, I'm very thankful that I have the type of personality where I am stubborn and I'm like, even if I'm not feeling it, I'm like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, I know I'm not going to feel good, but I'm going to do it. Yeah. And I'm so thankful because like, especially now being pregnant, my body, I'm learning that I can expect my body to do the same things that I would not pregnant. But it's just, I'm so thankful that I push myself. Like I've never gone to an event and been upset that I did. And even though I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to drive. I don't want to get ready. I don't like, what if there's no one I want to mingle with? Like every single time. And every time I get in the car and I'm like about to leave to go do something, I'm like, oh, do I really want to do this? And then I come home and I'm like, oops. On the phone to say, I'm like, so-and-so was there and then this. Like, so I just have to remind myself that every time, like I need to push myself to do it, even if I'm not feeling good.
Yeah. I feel like it's a really good way to show your children too. Like my girls are going to grow up and they're going to see like, we don't give up.
Number 6 is, who's had the most positive impact on your mental health?
My kids, because at the end of the day, no matter how bad I feel mentally or physically, they remind me why I do it. They remind me what really matters. At the end of the day, like my family matters the most. So,
okay, last question. If you can go back to one moment in your life, what moment would that be? And what would you say to yourself?
So this one's going to be a little like, well, I'm not going to cry. Probably Tay and I had like a controversy a few years ago. And I think in that moment, I felt like that was it. And like, it would never get better. And I think I would just tell myself that at the end of the day, like, nobody knows us the way we know us. And nobody will ever get it, because they don't live our life. And as long as we know the truth, that's all that matters. I told myself I wasn't going to cry. But yeah, I would just say that like, I would tell myself that I got through it and that it gets better. And that at the end of the day, like I'm going to have so many people that support us at the end of the day. Like they don't care, they support us. They know that people say things online. People do things online that are mean. People that know you do things that are mean to you because they don't like that you have anything going on that's good anymore. So yeah, I think I would just tell myself to like stay strong and like not let it get to me because I was very mental, like that was probably the lowest point in my life was in that little era. So.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He has a DV charge against him. That doesn't just happen willy-nilly. That doesn't just happen because, you were playing Minecraft or Winecraft or whatever the frig they labeled it as. You guys play this sickly, sweet, overly perfect couple on the internet. And it's a lie. And people are clocking that. And it's not this whole, we know the truth and you don't. No, the truth is he has DV charges against him. That's the truth. And we all read the police report. Nuts.
Well, I think I've learned so much about strength from you today, and especially not even knowing that that was something that you've experienced. And I have friends that have experienced, probably had similar experiences too,
It's very hard.
controversies and things online. But I am just so proud of you for like showing up, for advocating for yourself, for showing your kids like what strength looks like as a mom, especially because you have girls. And like, I think that that's just really special. And you should be so proud of yourself
Thank
for
you.
literally like everything. And also like literally starting a brand, like on top of everything that you have going on, like the fact that you did that too is really awesome.
It's my newest baby. So
I love that. Well, I hope you leave here like proud of yourself and
I
like
do.
really just taking a moment to like take that in.
Yeah, I'm glad, because I was having the same moment the other day. I was like, I don't know if I can do any of this, like the travel, and just it's a lot when you don't feel good. But I'm glad. It's like you said, like now that I've done it, I'm so glad that I pushed myself to do this. So yeah, thank you for having me. I just feel so honored
Oh my gosh.
that I got to talk with you today.
I love it.
I'm gonna cry.
Thanks for coming.
So hello, me again. I figured I'd just refilm the outro because it's not that long, and obviously that's when my audio was at its worst. But all I was saying is that was something, you know? And what really bothers me with Kay specifically is that she comes on and she tries to act like this super involved, present mom, and she's not. And she was never there for her eldest child. And now she's big and famous, so she's gallivanting around the United States for her job and for her fame, and not present for her younger children either. And it bothers me that she comes on and acts like this top tier amazing mom when she's barely even around. And another thing that a lot of people noticed was the way she interacts with their middle child and how disconnected the attachment seems. Like it's always side hugs, there's not a lot of affection. And even when she got back home from, I'm pretty sure, this podcast, you could see the interaction was kind of awkward and the kid wasn't super excited and went and jumped in mom's arms. It was kind of like this awkward little, hi, I'm happy you're home. And like she did say like, I missed you and stuff like that. But it's just the vibes feel off. And that makes sense if you don't have a chance to, you know, bond with your mom. And a lot of people are also saying, I was reading comments and stuff on their videos. So anyway, it's just something's off. The vibes are off. And her acting like she's the best mom on the planet and trying to like give mom advice and stuff like that, it bugs me, you know? But that's what we got for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless through the chaos and the audio issues and all the stuff. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Please and thank you. I truly appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys really soon. Bye, guys.